First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up 3.1. And then I'm going to delete everything. I'm going to rename it 5.11. Okay? Then I'm going to open up 5.1 and I'm going to copy and paste. You already know a ton about King Tut, so you're kind of looking at what are we going to do for the first paragraph. Kind of introduce King Tut, what it's all about, why it's so important, and then you just type it just like you're talking. So you type in the first paragraph telling about who King Tut was. He was a great pharaoh, born so-and-so. Usually it took power. He was only 8 or 9 years old. Some of these facts that you knew from answering these questions. And then he had stuff like, and he wasn't really an important pharaoh, but what makes him famous is that his tomb was left untouched for over 1,000 years. And in 1923, the tomb was uncovered and it allowed the world to get a peek of what ancient Egypt looked like back in the day. Now, the middle paragraph is kind of a paragraph that gives all of that information that you learned. You talk about grave robbers, you talk about Howard Carter, you talk about the British and how they were interested in ancient Egypt, a little bit about Lord Carnarvon, all this stuff you know. And then you can get into the pieces that were found in it and all of the different things and the weird parts about it. And you know all this. And this paragraph should be fairly long. As you can see, this gives it right to about there. So you just kind of go through your list of things and you put it in your own words. And if you want to make it really easy, you can just put it back into Office 365 on your book and use the dictate feature and talk, because I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what I did. When you take a look at that middle paragraph, you can see it's not just 5 simple sentences. It's basically taking all the information, the weird facts, the fact that he was 18 or 19 when he died, how he probably had some birth defects, he could have been killed. There were things about the curse, just all those interesting facts. And then we're going to start on our third paragraph. And the third paragraph is all about a conclusion of what we just said. So again, I just went on dictation and said, in conclusion, King Tut was not a very popular, important, blah, blah, blah. Just as you take a look at it, I talked about artifacts, talked about ancient pharaohs, kind of tying everything together. And then I want to check how many words I have. So I just come up here to the word count, I click on it, and I see that I have 555 words. So I have met the standard for that. So now what I have to come through and do the easy part is to make it cited. So I'm just going to come back here to my first paragraph, and I'm going to, right underneath the paragraph, I'm going to come to my references. I'm going to insert a citation, and since I use 3.1, all of my things are here. And I'm going to grab some of the sites that I got. So I'm going to use Covington and the history, and I'm also going to use the Curse of the Mummy or King Tut. I'll use that one. Okay, then for my middle paragraph, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add my citations here. And I'm going to add biography, and I'm going to add King Returns, and I'm going to add history, and I'm going to add the curse. Okay, so I've added those in. And then I'm going to come down here to my conclusion, and I'm going to add my bibliography. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my enter key until I come down here to the bottom. And on a separate page, so on page 3, that's where I'm going to put my bibliography. I just come up here to my bibliography. I'm going to click on my manage sources, make sure that I have everything marked that I want. No, not the Goonies. No, not the Shining. No, not the Godfather. I'm going to put all of those in. I'm going to add that one. I'm going to click close. Then I'm going to hit Bibliography. Bibliography. So I take a look at my bibliography. I have 8. It's exactly the same. It's perfectly right because I did it my first one. And that is it. Easy peasy.